Cracks in brick, cracks in block, sticking windows or doors. Settling or sinking foundation, it's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
It's the morning edition of the Daily Weather Briefing video. This is for Monday, December the 12th. I'm James Spann. Got a major pattern change this week. We'll have a chance of heavy rain and strong, maybe severe storms Wednesday. Then much colder air comes in here late this week and over the weekend. And most likely we stay cold through Christmas. The big question is, how cold? Let's see if we can answer some of those questions this morning. This is the upper air look, and you can see a big trough is over the western United States, producing a lot of snow for the mountains there. That'll be producing a blizzard for parts of the Rockies up into the high plain states over the next couple of days, and that will bring the chance of heavy rain and maybe a few severe storms to Alabama on Wednesday. But this morning, things are relatively quiet. That's the radar composite doing this update live at the insane hour of 5:12 a.m. And the chance of rain in Alabama today and tomorrow, relatively small. The next big rain event will be on Wednesday. A little cooler this morning across the northern half of the state. We have 40s for Haleyville and Cullman. Birmingham at 56. Still 64 down at Mobile. 61 for Montgomery and Dothan to start today. For most of the state, highs in the 60s today, but extreme South Alabama will again see low 70s. And another foggy morning. Had a lot of these lately. We've got a dense fog advisory for Mobile and Baldwin counties near the Gulf Coast, and also for some of the central counties of the state. Out west, getting messy. All the red on this map, those are blizzard warnings for parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, and South Dakota. A lot of places under winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories out west, and we'll be keeping a very close eye on that system. And in the warm sector of that system today, a chance of severe storms over parts of the southern plain states down into North Texas. This is tomorrow. We have a risk of severe storms with an enhanced risk over parts of Louisiana and some of the adjacent states. The broader risk runs from near Dallas-Fort Worth all the way over to the southwestern corner of Alabama. And again, this is valid through 6 a.m. Wednesday. And then after 6 a.m. Wednesday, during the day Wednesday, we have a risk of severe storms near the Gulf Coast. In Alabama, this is mainly for the southern third of the state. We have a level 2 out of 5, slight risk, running from near York down to about Greenville and Abbeville. The areas in yellow. And then a marginal risk up to Utah, Montgomery, and Eufaula. And during the day Wednesday, we could see in that area the chance of some hail and a couple of isolated tornadoes. At this point, we're not expecting any severe weather for the northern half of the state, but heavy rain, yes. It's going to be a soaker statewide. This is the rain for the next 7 days. And a lot of this will be Wednesday. The amounts between 2 and 3 inches. So there could be some flooding issues in spots on Wednesday. So keep that in mind. So let's take it day by day here. Model fans, this is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid today at 4. Of course, got that big trough in the west. That's going to be progressive. But again, for us, the day will be relatively quiet. Maybe a bit of sun at times, but a lot of clouds around. Highs for most places in the 60s. Tomorrow, the system really starts to wind up coming out of the Rockies. Got a deep surface low under 1,000 millibars over Nebraska. That's a blizzard for parts of Nebraska and the Dakotas. And in the warm sector in advance of the dry line, a chance of severe storms down through parts of eastern Texas, Arkansas, maybe Missouri, probably not because the air there's a little bit too stable for that, and also parts of Louisiana. And again, this is tomorrow, but for Alabama tomorrow, again, should be quiet. Highs in the 60s, maybe a little bit of sun. So Wednesday, that big batch of rain and storms comes in here. A secondary low forms over the Alabama-Mississippi border, 1,003 millibars. So no doubt it's going to be a soaker. Rain may be heavy at times, but the issue is, will the air be unstable? And we think not for the northern half of the state. This is the instability at 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, and the better instability values across the southern part of the state, where SPC has defined that risk of severe storms. And this will be a daytime event. But again, with the lack of instability, for now, the chance of any severe weather for the northern half of the state looks awfully low. So again, for those of you in South Alabama, just keep in mind there could be a few severe storms Wednesday, along with a chance of heavy rain. And then Thursday, everything is on by. The rain will be ending early in the day Thursday. We'll forecast gradual clearing, and it could be a deal where temperatures kind of fall through the 50s during the day with a pretty brisk north breeze. This is Friday. Where dry thickness values are coming down. The high Friday dropping to about 50. It'll be a kind of a step down, cool down here, but the day should be partly sunny. And this is Saturday. We'll start the day around freezing. And the high Saturday will be in the 40s for the northern half of the state, 50s for the southern counties. But again, if you got something planned outdoors, it's just going to be cold and dry. And then Sunday, a little wave comes through the Gulf of Mexico. And this is an interesting feature. And yeah, we've seen some runs here that try and suggest a chance of wintry precipitation for the northern part of the state in Tennessee, light wintry precipitation. But this run shunts the system to the south and just some light rain for South Alabama on Sunday. And I think this is probably the right idea. But these southern stream systems are always problematic, and understand this is 6 days away and this will probably change. But at the moment, it looks like Sunday will feature the chance of some light rain for the southern counties of the state. North Alabama, cloudy, but just cold and dry. So let's go out a week from today. Monday, December 19th, got troughing over the eastern states, and again, we're cold and dry. Let's go out 10 days, Thursday of next week, December 22nd, getting awfully close to Christmas. Heights below average over much of the country, and again, that looks cold and dry. And the question is, will it be cold at Christmas? I think the answer is yes. The question is how cold. We'll look at some of the longer range stuff here in just a second for pattern recognition, not specific forecast ideas. This is the rain for Birmingham off the European ensemble. You're looking for that green line. The mean is over 3 inches between now and the 27th of December. And yeah, numbers are coming down. National blend of models for Birmingham. Highs in the 60s through Wednesday, 56 on Thursday, then dropping to 50 by Friday. And you can see for the weekend, highs drop in the 40s and lows should be below freezing, and highs stay in the 40s on through the first half of next week. And again, the pattern favors below average temperatures for much of the contiguous United States on through Christmas Day. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook. This is for December 19th through the 25th. Of course, everybody's going to ask how cold will be at Christmas, and nobody knows that yet. But again, the pattern looks cold. Thought this was interesting. So this is a look at temperatures over the northern hemisphere yesterday. And you see that circle, which is eastern Siberia. Those are temperatures down to minus 80 Fahrenheit in spots, 80 below zero. And that's not a wind chill index. Minus 80 Fahrenheit air temperature. I think the coldest observation I saw there was minus 81. That's brutal. And the pattern seems to favor a cross-polar flow around Christmas, where that air will come over the pole down into North America. And of course, that leads to the question, could this be a 1983 or a 1989 type cold, where down here in the Deep South, we saw some spots getting down to zero? And I'd say that's unlikely, but the idea is not totally out of the question. But again, I just think the best we can say for now with some confidence is the fact that temperatures will likely stay below average on through Christmas. And understand, in Alabama, where we are, the average high on Christmas Day is 57. The average low is 37. So below average could be a high of 50 and a low of 30. That's below average. But it just looks cold. And again, as we obviously get closer, we'll have much better clarity on the situation. But it's always interesting to watch these pattern flips. And hey, this is what it looks like out at Donner Pass in the California mountains with this big trough out there. How'd you like to be driving in that? This is coming from CHP, the Highway Patrol in California. But it's the Sierra Nevadas are being slammed with snow, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. They certainly need that snowpack, which will ultimately give them some beneficial moisture out there. And this was taken at West Yellowstone yesterday. And again, that's the system that'll be coming out, producing that kind of weather across parts of Colorado, Wyoming, up into Nebraska and the Dakotas. So some very interesting winter days ahead, and that's the same system that's going to bring the chance of heavy rain and a few severe storms here Wednesday. And one more time before we go, that's the convective outlook for Wednesday, the chance of severe storms over the southern third of the state. As we see it now, North Alabama, probably no severe weather because of the lack of instability. So that's it for the morning edition of the Daily Weather Briefing video. Thanks for watching. Busy week this week. Going to Blount County today. Locust Fort, home of the Hornets, doing a program there at the elementary school. Let's see. Tomorrow going to Hale County, Greensboro Elementary. Wednesday, Simmons Middle School in Hoover. Thursday, going to Phil Campbell, Alabama, up in Franklin County. And then Friday, Center Point Elementary. And that will wrap up the programs for the year because Christmas break is coming up. That'll be the last school program. Hey, we have notes over on the blog, alabamawx.com. And, of course, if you can, watch us this evening, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. And don't forget, it's Monday. So tonight, between the 6 and the 10 o'clock news, we'll be doing Weather Brains, our weekly show all about weather for weather dweebs. It's a podcast, but there's also a live video version. The video is on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/weatherbrains, or it's on any of your favorite podcast apps. We've been doing that for almost 17 years. Our 17th anniversary is coming up in January, next month. I mean, how many podcasts can say they're 17 years old? But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Sinking driveway? Call Alabama Professional Services. Settling patio? Call APS. Uneven pool deck? Call APS. Collapsing stoop? Call APS. Cracking sidewalk? That's right, call APS. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS. Call Alabama Professional Services today.